Hi, my name is Chelsea from Teaching in Pearls, and this is how I teach ukulele to kindergarten through 6th grade. This is my 8th year teaching elementary music, my 10th year teaching in general, and also my 8th year teaching the ukulele. So I feel like every year I get a little bit better. However, for the past 7 years, I've been using the Quaver music curriculum. This year, I no longer have access to Quaver, so I'm creating my own teaching videos to help me get through teaching 40 classes a week, 600 students ages 5 to 12. I personally like to film teaching videos and play them for my students versus being in front of the class repeating myself 40 times in 1 week, because I find that when I repeat myself too much, I leave things out, I forget to say things, and also if I'm showing a video of myself teaching, I can walk around and help do accommodations. In every single class, I have students with IEPs or 504s or both, and I also have some students that push in through the autism unit, so I have a lot of kids who have dexterity issues, focusing issues, behavior issues, so that helps me put out those little fires and make those accommodations and modifications while I'm still teaching them. I also have something very exciting this year, which is our new ukulele storage. If you watched my classroom setup vlogs, then you saw Brandon build this. I am absolutely obsessed with this. My district was able to purchase it for me using some Title I funds that they had a couple years ago. So Brandon was finally able to come in and put it together for me, and I think it is going to make teaching so much better this year. It makes the storage so much more accessible and easier and safer for the instruments. Before, we were using these plastic storage bins. The kids were putting them in cases and then stacking them in there, but they had to stack them a certain way to make them fit, and having all the instruments on top of each other is not the best for the instruments. So having this where they each have their own rung to be on is honestly so much better for us and so much better for the instruments. Also, fun fact that I found out when researching this company is that these are made in Ohio and Indiana, and I am from Ohio. And they also come in 2 different sizes. One is for just soprano ukuleles, and one is to fit a variety of sizes. I love how easily movable it is. I can move it to any part of the room. If I want to have it up front near me, if I want to keep it in the back, I get to decide, and it fits 30 ukuleles, which is more than any of my classes have. So it's the perfect amount and also the perfect height for my very tiny kindergartners. They should be able to reach it with no problem. So personally, if you're teaching a ukulele unit and your district can invest in something like this for you, or you're able to do a donor's choose, I would suggest doing that. I've had like $15,000 worth of items funded through donor's choose being at a Title I school. It's been a bunch of different projects, some for instruments, some for coats for my students, all types of things. And I truly think something like this would get funded lickety split if you are a Title I teacher. As far as what I am actually teaching for the ukulele, I start each class with a little video on the history. I used to use the Quaver ukulele top 10 tips video, but this year I am using a video from Miss Jessica's World because she talks about Hawaiian culture, and that's just very important when you're learning the ukulele. So we will all start with that video, and then I am going to go into my intro teaching video with the things that I find most important, which are how to get the instrument off the shelf, how to get it to your seat, how to hold it correctly, and this is the way I like to teach it in step 1, step 2, and step 3, and then how to pluck the strings. For my kindergartners, that's about all we're going to learn this year. For my 1st graders, 2nd graders, 3rd graders, we do a couple plucking play along videos, and my older kids do some chords after we get good with plucking, but that comes much later. So here's what my very first ukulele lesson will look like. I filmed and edited this video myself with the help of my teacher bestie, and my students are going to love seeing her because they all know her. She's one of the ELL teachers in our building. Without further ado, this is my teaching lesson for my beginning of my ukulele unit. Welcome to your first ukulele lesson. Today we are going to work on how to get our ukuleles, how to hold our ukuleles, and how to pluck the strings. Here's my student, Miss Marshall. She is going to demonstrate for you how to properly get her ukulele. So she's going to slowly stand on up. This year we have this nice ukulele shelf, so she's going to walk on over and carefully grab one instrument. Great, I love that she used 2 hands, and she's going to walk back to her seat. Is she going to run? No. Oh my gosh, she's crisscross applesauce. That's a perfect student. Make sure that when you're grabbing your ukulele, you're not knocking into any of the others. But if you ever come over to the shelf and see that a ukulele is off of its track, you can very carefully and gently move it right back into its track. Each instrument should fit perfectly in between the pegs and on the black track right there. You are never, ever, ever allowed to touch these. These are the tuning pegs. The only students who are able to touch these are the sixth graders and some of the fifth graders. But if I see you touching them and you are not a student who has been taught how to use them, I will take your instrument for the rest of the day. It will go back on the rack and you will not play with us until next week. The first thing we need to know before we play the ukulele is how to hold the ukulele. Everyone's going to hold it exactly the same. It doesn't matter if you're left-handed or right-handed. As long as you have two working arms, we're all going to use them the same. There has been an exception before for a student who had a broken arm. Then we had to adjust it. But otherwise, all ukuleles go in the same direction because you're going to end up using both hands anyways. So I need you to put your left arm in the air. Okay, left hand down. Left hand down. Left arm. Left hand down. Okay, let me watch one more time. Left hand. Perfect. With your left hand, you are going to grab your instrument by its neck, which is this part. So do this. Show me step one. Good. Step two, you're going to swoop it against your body like a shirt. Swoop, it's going to be flat against your body. This part is on your belly like a shirt. So step one, step two, swoop, and then step three, you're going to take your chicken arm and place it over the wood so that your thumb can reach the strings by the hole. Fabulous. Okay, let's get in rest position, which is instruments on the ground, crisscross applesauce. Show me your left arm. Okay, show me step one, step two, swoop, step three, chicken arm over, and play with your chicken thumb. Good, okay, rest position. Let's see if you can do it without my help. Let me see your left arm. Good, step one, step two, swoop. Step three, chicken arm, and play. Yay! Fabulous. All right. Today, we are going to work on playing each string by itself. So with your chicken thumb, you are going to play 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you can play 1, 2, 3, 4, then try to play 4, 3, 2, 1. Am I going like this? No. Am I going like this? No. I'm using the corner of my thumb, not my nail, but the skin, and going 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm pulling down on the string. 4, 3, 2, 1. Marshall's been practicing. Let's see if she can do it. Are you ready? We're ready. Okay, what do you think? She do good? Okay, your turn, and once you think you can do it, show your neighbor. If your neighbor says you're doing it, then raise your hand and I'll come check. So that's the first lesson on my ukulele unit. Let me know what you think in the comments if you have any questions and if you would like to see the rest of how I'm teaching my unit. As always, thank you so much for watching and I hope you're having a fabulous day wherever you are.